Hey guys, in this video I want to talk to you a little bit about something which is a little bit of a touchy-feely subject when it comes to your business, when it comes to your passion projects or whatever it is that you're doing, your side hustle. And this is something that is probably going to make or break your project, business, organization, whatever it is that you call it. And that, my friends, is the big scary word of money. This video, let's talk about it. I feel like as I progress through strategy calls this week with clients and people who have joined me on my one-to-one sessions, I'm starting to see that in some circumstances, in some businesses, there isn't enough money to go around. Now, what does that mean? It means profitability in your business might be lower than it could be, should be, and would be if you had a few key things in place to make sure that that constant flow, that lifeblood, that cash flow is running into your business. Now, me, myself personally, I know something about generating cash flow. If anything, it's probably one of my only superpowers when it comes to business and when it comes to actually doing anything. It's something that we just did with a project called Deliver Me, which is an on-demand delivery app, which I have invested in, and we've recently raised £250,000 in investment for. That happened within 24 days, something I'm really proud of, something that, I'm very, very grateful for to all of our investors. But the main thing is, why did we raise that capital? It's a new startup, it's a new venture, it's a new business. And the lessons that I can share with you from why you need that capital really stem from what happens if you don't have enough cash flow, sales, money is what we're talking about in your business to make sure you have the best chance for success. Okay, number one of those side effects of not having enough money, it sounds weird to even say it, but the reality is, in a lot of businesses that are struggling, that aren't where they want to be, that aren't having the biggest impact, money is the biggest obstacle for some businesses to allowing them to actually fulfill the promises and the things that they want to do in their communities, in their, in their staff, in their outreach, and what they can do on a broader scale across the world. So side effect number one really and truly is you don't have anything to reinvest, so you cannot grow. The amount of businesses I've seen that have convinced themselves they've got a product problem, when in reality they have a sales and marketing problem, is countless, okay? Now, if you're one of those businesses that believes you should have more money, that know you should be making more money, and you've tried everything, right? You've tried social media marketing, you've tried direct outreach, you've tried going on the streets in some cases and leafleting, taking it old school, you've done a billboard, any of these marketing tactics you've done and you haven't had success. Maybe you've even ran Facebook and Instagram ads and you haven't got the results you wanted. Some of you might be convinced, actually, maybe it's not that we have bad marketing and sales systems. Maybe the point is that we don't actually have a good enough product. Now, in some circumstances, guys, this is absolutely true. You can always improve your product, always improve your service. But in reality, sometimes not having the right skills, the right team members, the right ideas and creativity in your marketing and sales campaigns can be the much bigger problem with your sales process and selling a product or service than the actual product or service itself. So what have I seen? I've seen companies implode on their offer. I've seen sales staff in organizations that I've worked with turn on the company, not forthcoming, but they've turned on the company because they don't believe in the product or service anymore, and they convince management, we can't sell this because nobody wants it, there's no demand. When in actual fact, the skill of those operators and the quality of the inquiries that those operators are generating or those businesses are generating for their sales staff simply hasn't had enough thought and strategy put behind it with enough good minds, enough relevant trending ideas to make it a successful sales process, right? So that's number one. People turn on themselves The businesses, they implode. The sales staff, they turn on their offer. Nobody wants it. Have you had these excuses from your sales team? I know for sure, with many of the clients I've worked with, I've heard this over and over again. Nobody wants it, Aaron, but nobody wants to buy it. Only to go and turn it around, have better sales and marketing funnels, ads, lead generation systems put into place, and then all of a sudden things turn around. So don't give up on your offer or your product too soon because you have a sales problem, which ultimately leads to you having a money problem, okay? Now, what's the second thing that I've seen in my experience that happens when a business doesn't have enough money coming in? I'm not gonna say cash flow, I'm not gonna nice it up by saying sales. Let's just get to the bare bones. There's not enough money in your business, right? It also restricts the freedom of innovation, okay? How can you have the time to innovate better products, better services, better solutions to your customers' problems? How can you be a customer-centric business when the whole time you're anxious and separated mentally from your business because you're worried about having no money in the bank or having just enough money to operate and break even, right? How can you actually think and expect that of yourself, to be focused, to be driven, to find new products, new solutions, new innovations from yourself and your team when you simply don't have enough peace of mind every single month because your sales and your marketing and your products aren't working, right? It's unfair. So remove that stigma that you know that money is evil or money isn't necessary or money's a byproduct of what you're doing in your business. I can tell you really and truly, my business exists. We're a performance-based agency that exists because companies and our clients want to generate more sales and more money in their businesses. And there's nothing wrong with that. When did it become immoral to make more money in your business? Ask yourself that question. Did at some point you think, actually, yeah, I want to be financially free as a business owner. I want to be wealthy, or I want to be rich. And when did the decision come that that was immoral, that was the wrong thing to be or want to attain in your life, right? Some business owners I've worked with, there's a switch that happens. Yes, I want to be financially free, but I don't want to be too wealthy and detach myself from all of the current things that I love and enjoy in my life, community, social circles, where they live, how they travel, right? All of these things and options become available when you have more money in your personal income, probably from having a better income in your businesses, right? If you are suffering from that, if at some point you felt uncomfortable because of your success, because of your financial gain from being good at business, from serving customers, from helping people, but then there's this imposter syndrome and this guilt that has risen up inside of you, I am here to tell you, just like I've discovered in myself, because this is definitely something that I've been through, there is nothing wrong with making more money in your personal income and in your business income. And the third and final thing that I've seen with clients and businesses who aren't making enough money in their business is the personal stress that causes away from the business. When they go home, they take it with them. And again, if you need a reason to get serious about your finances, to get serious about your sales and marketing, to actually start progressing your business forwards, hiring more team members, serving more customers, producing more products, more innovation. If that isn't enough for you guys to get serious about making more money in your business, right? Think about if you don't, and the energy you're carrying from the stress of not having that money in your business, that will then translate to your personal, taking that home and the effect that that might have on the closest people to you, in your household, in your families, in your friendship circles, how that can affect all of those individuals. And for me, I'm a recent, father. I've just had my firstborn child, Neo. One day he might watch this, which is fun. But my partner, my fiance, my son, when I go home, I remember before Neo arrived, in the first 1 to 2 years of my business where I was making, sales, but I was struggling to have consistency to actually build up my sales pipeline, I really noticed how much of an effect that had on my life personally, and definitely regret some of the times where I might have convinced myself that growing and building the cash flow in the business wasn't a priority, and that stress as a result of that, going home, impacting the lives of others around me, definitely is something that I would not recommend. Now, I have given you guys 3 really, really big side effects of not having enough cash flow in your businesses, not prioritizing the money in your businesses. And the reason why I want to outline these is because I've worked with so many businesses, hundreds of businesses, that when I've seen this problem, if not identified, and if the belief systems around making money, making sales, raising finance, doing what needs to be done to grow and to have the biggest impact it can have, if that isn't switched in those belief systems early enough and recognized and changed, that business ultimately will never succeed in accomplishing everything that the founders probably saw it and wanted it to do when they began the company, when they were passionate, when they were driven. Because not having enough money in your business is toxic. And all 3 of those areas, the stress, the anxiety, the lack of innovation, the turning and the imploding on yourself, your products, your services, can normally be solved. Don't worry, there is a solution. It can normally be solved by having the right systems and processes in place with your sales process. This is your wake-up call. If you are still watching this video, chances are you probably want to increase your sales conversions and have more money and revenue in your business, actively helping you hire more staff, innovate more products, and generate more brand equity in your marketplace. So, what do you need to do from here? First of all, it's recognize money is the absolute priority for you to fulfill all of the things and promises that your business wants to fulfill and that you want to fulfill through it. Let's not beat around the bush. Let's agree that you're going to need it as a resource, and only as a resource, not as something to measure your self-worth against, not as something to measure how important you feel about yourself and how good you feel on a day-to-day basis. Only to recognize that money in your business is a resource that you will definitely need to increase through your sales and marketing activities. If you're not getting enough out of it already, there's probably, between where you are right now and where you want to be, simply a knowledge gap. That is, in my experience, all that is missing. To get to where you want to go from where you are, it's probably because you're lacking a certain amount of information, skills, resources, strategy, and market know-how. And if that's the case, there's definitely people out there, whether it's ourselves here at Social Agendas, whether it's myself consulting with you on a one-to-one strategy call, whatever it is that you choose to do to remedy that, take action. Because without action, without energy, your systems, your processes, they'll remain the same. And if they're not good enough right now, what makes you think without action that they can potentially change? It's highly unlikely. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Is money important in business? Is it a top priority in your business right now? Do you need help acquiring, selling more products, finding more customers? If so, let me know. Thanks so much for watching.